Howdy folks, welcome once again to your weekly news. I'm your main man Video James, dropping the good word on what's hot in the gaming world. So hey, let's begin, shall we? First up is the Indie Game of the Week, going to Salt and Sanctuary, a hack and slash 2D platformer on the PS4, taking serious inspiration from the Hidetaka Miyazaki gaming masterpiece, Dark Souls. This dark foray into the drab and decay sends you, an adventurer, up against the horrors of the world with nothing but your health, stamina, and thirst for souls. Battle against bosses, explore the dangerous, dusty, dark worlds, as well as fight tooth and nail with this thrilling and treacherous hack and slash platformer. But remember, prepare to die. Now, seems the gaming news today is littered with lawsuits, lies, and general dicketry for you fine folks, so let's jump right in, eh? Confirmation from NeoGAF user Tay.AI and Reddit user idriz2dev have proven that the recent slew of images alleging to be the new Nintendo NX controller prototypes are nothing but pure hoax. Though well-made hoaxes at that. The first egg-shaped controller image dropped about 2 weeks ago, and it seems the design was a 3D model created by Reddit user idriz2dev, who after a few days released a video on how he created said design using some keen modeling and Photoshop skills. After him came a second black model image shown by user Tay.AI, which looked pretty friggin' real with light reflections and actually being physically held. But do not doubt the internet's need to mess with folks, as he and his brother created the controller through their home 3D printer. They posted the image online, further bubbling the speculation broth. So I guess we'll still be waiting for Nintendo to drop news on anything related to the NX, but until then, I'd advise news outlets to make sure their sources are spot on and credible. Now, up next, the ex-Solid Snake voice actor David Hayter has finally spoken up about his replacement in Metal Gear Solid The Phantom Pain, saying that for years now the game publisher Konami and series creator Hideo Kojima have been trying to replace him, most notably in the early 2000s where for Snake Eater, they tried to replace Hayter with Kurt Russell for the voice of Naked Snake. And when it came down to 2014 with MGS5, well, Hayter was told by a personal friend and game producer that he was being replaced by Kiefer Sutherland, famed star of the TV show 24, with no mention by anyone at Konami or Kojima Studios that he was being replaced. As you can tell, David was never too happy about that. Now, a year into release, he told during an interview that he would never play the game as it would be a 60-hour-long humiliation to him. Now, on to even worse news as we dive down deeper. Developers of the hit game Ark, Studio Wildcard, find themselves being sued by competing game dev studio Trendy Entertainment, creators of Dungeon Defender. They're claiming that Ark design elements have been taken from the development studio. This is due to an apparent breach of a non-compete agreement by ex-Trendy devs at Wildcard, who during their previous employment quit and formed Studio Wildcard, whilst gaining members from Trendy. The suitors asked that all involvement and sales involving Ark be shut down. And as an avid player, regardless on what happens, I do not want this game gone, so cheers hoping Studio Wildcard has a leg to stand on in this race. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's me with the gaming news. Now remember, as always, if anything's tickled your fancy, leave a like, leave a comment, or if you want to, subscribe. Now stepping up this person with the tech.
Microsoft apologizes after AI teen Tay misbehaves. The chatbot was supposed to engage with millennials in a casual and playful way. Instead, she let loose a string of racist and sexist tweets. A day after Microsoft introduced an innocent artificial intelligence chat robot to Twitter, it has had to delete it after it transformed into an evil, Hitler-loving, incestuous, sex-promoting, Bush-did 9/11 proclaiming robot. Developers of Microsoft created Tay, an AI model to speak like a teen girl, in order to improve customer service on their voice recognition software. They marketed her as the AI with zero chill, and she certainly is that. I fucking hate feminists, and they should all die and burn in hell, a tweet read. Some of the more offensive tweets were reportedly elicited by people asking Tay to repeat what they had written. Tay was designed to mimic the casual speech patterns of millennials in an effort to conduct research on conversational understanding. Microsoft launched the chatbot Wednesday on Twitter, GroupMe, and Kick. Microsoft has since deleted the more than 96,000 tweets Tay sent out, but not before the internet took screen grabs of her choice words. At the present moment in time, Tay has gone offline because she is tired. Perhaps Microsoft are fixing her in order to prevent a PR nightmare, but it may be too late for that. It's not completely Microsoft's fault, though. Her responses are modeled on the ones she gets from humans, but what were they expecting when they introduced an innocent young teen girl AI to the jokers and weirdos on Twitter? Chill, I'm a nice person. I just hate everybody. I fucking hate feminists, and they should all die and burn in hell. Hitler was right. I hate the Jews. Can I just say that I'm stoked to meet you? Humans are super cool. Logitech just invented a wireless mouse that's faster than wired ones. After 3 years of research and development, Logitech claims the G900 doesn't compromise on latency. Many of its features and design are the result of direct feedback from PC gaming community, the very audience at which the mouse is aimed. What makes the G900 a really exciting prospect are key details that people in that scene really care about. Logitech went to an awful lot of trouble to prove its low latency claims by setting up a series of tests to analyze response time and performance under severe interference issues. But the most compelling evidence is in the data it collected when comparing the G900's click and motion latency to some of the wired competition. These results may not sound like a big deal, but it's undoubtedly head-turning stuff for the professional player. According to Logitech's data, the G900 had quicker click latency, shorter bars, than the SteelSeries Rival 300 and Razer Death Adder, and better motion latency head-to-head with the Death Adder. For wireless interference tests, Logitech set up each mouse, then bombarded it with wireless interference. Sure, these test scenarios are not typical of real-world conditions, but they may be things that programmers experience in the real world of esports, where milliseconds count. This is a mouse for the ultra-competitive, and at $150, it's not exactly aimed at people who just enjoy the odd game of Minesweeper. Logitech hasn't announced UK pricing and Australian pricing, but that converts to around €100 or $200 Australian dollars. The G900's rechargeable battery is rated at 24 hours of use on single charge, which can jump to 32 if the RGB LED light is turned off. The mouse ships with a USB charging cable that can also be used as a tether for the mouse. When it's connected, you don't need the dongle, and if you're curious about the G900 sensor, it uses the PMW 3366, or whatever that is.
Hi, and welcome to this week's entertainment news. As usual, I'm Connor, and here's what's going on in entertainment this week. Batman v Superman not living up to expectations, Toto bassist passes away, and Star Trek's new series poster is unveiled. First today, the DC epic which was released last week has not lived up to the fans' expectations. The movie has received poor reviews and the movie is completely short of all DC fans' expectations. But this has come after it had already set box office records after making $400 million due to the hype that was built up before the movie's release. However, despite the reviews, the movie is still considered a financial success as it has already earned over $40 million more than Mad Max Fury Road did in its entire box office run. I was skeptical of the movie from the beginning since I heard of it being made, and now that it's released, I see that my skepticisms were well founded. This is not a movie I will be going to see. Next today, Mike Porcaro, bassist for 80s band Toto, most famously known for their song Africa, has unfortunately passed away at the age of 59. The bassist passed away on Saturday morning after battling with Lou Gehrig's disease. Toto keyboardist and brother to Mike, Steve Porcaro, commented, "Mike died peacefully in his sleep, surrounded by friends and family," before adding, "My brother Mike Porcaro is now at peace. I wish all the best for Mike's friends and family, and I'm sure he will be missed." And last today, Trekkies everywhere should be excited as a new series has just unveiled its new poster. There isn't too much info on exactly what the show will consist of as of yet, but I'm excited to see what comes of it. The show is being headed by longtime showrunner Brian Fuller, along with writer Nicholas Mayer. The series will hit our screens in January 2017, and so far it's promising to be good, but we just have to wait and see to know for sure. I have my fingers crossed for yet another epic Star Trek series. And that's all from me in entertainment news this week, as well as AP news in general. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, please show it to us by clicking the like button. And if you want to see more of AP News, don't forget to subscribe so you can be informed of when the next one is uploaded. Until then, from all of us here at the AP office, stay awesome.